Today we are showing you the Stryker. It comes in many variants. It's a family of vehicles. Some are for air defense, others have a tank gun on top. Ukraine received only one kind, this one. Browning Maching Gun, smoke grenades. It's an infantry fighting vehicle meant for transporting assault troops, evacuating the wounded. It's quite an old machine, but it's pretty fast, 120 kilometers an hour max speed, and it's pretty cool.
The Stryker first entered service in 2002 and was deployed by the USA in Iraq for counterinsurgency purposes. Now, in 2024, the machine is in a real war. This specific crew has been on the Stryker for 2 months. Their first mission on Russian soil in Kursk Oblast.
The first experience is something you never forget. With 3 Strykers, we moved towards enemy positions, transporting troops under cover of machine gun fire and tanks. We drove about 10 kilometers and were attacked by drones, but we managed to deploy the troops successfully. We hit our designated targets and then returned to the waiting point. Once the troops completed their task, we went back to pick them up.
Lichy is the gunner. His job is to provide covering fire for the infantry with a 12.7mm Browning machine gun.
These are normal rounds, but every 5th is a tracing round. We have separate cases with armor-piercing ammunition. And there are also smoke grenades when you need to cover the car, as they create a smoke screen.
Димові гранати вистрілюють, гранати і становлять димову завісу.
Допомагають типу втекти?
Ні, при наступі.
No, it's for during an offensive, so drones don't spot you.
Кулемет обертається.
The machine gun rotates 360 degrees, has both night and day vision, and can load 250 rounds.
Just for comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a 5.45mm round from a Kalashnikov assault rifle. This is a 7.62mm caliber round from a machine gun, and this is a 12.7mm Browning.
Ваш улюблений?
Well, right now, yes.
Well, you can understand from the difference of the projectile, you can understand the difference of what happens if it hits you. So a vest like he's wearing can help against this. If it's a really good vest, maybe against this, but with that, infantry doesn't really stand a chance.
After checking out the top, Lichy takes us inside.
There are 2 ways in and out of this machine, at least for the passenger transport area. One is through the back, and one is through this lovely hatch. Feels a bit like a submarine or a spacecraft, but it's fun. So this is the inside of the Stryker APC, and well, its main job is to transport troops into battle and out of battle, evacuate wounded, bring in assault troops. As you can see, there's space for 8 soldiers here, but the guys told us that sometimes they take 10, 12, even 15 people. The crew consists typically, when they go into battle, just of a gunner who sits here and a driver who sits in that hole back there. Sometimes they take guys with them, depends on the mission, to help them so everything goes faster, because obviously when you're driving, the huge danger is that you're spotted, FPV drones, artillery, Lancets, so sometimes it needs to be really fast when they pick people up, when they bring them back. But yeah, that's it. It's quite an old machine, as you can see. I don't know when it was built. The guys don't know exactly either, but still, it works, and that's the main thing.
Одного з завдань.
Oh, you can see what the inside looks like after one of our missions.
It's a Kroftak.
Yes, and that's not much. Sometimes there's more. But we haven't lost anyone in our vehicle yet. We get the guys to the evacuation point fast, where an ambulance is waiting, and they're taken care of from there.
Alright, so now we're gonna meet the driver. not bad. Come up.
Так.
Zack.
Ви тут водій же, правильно? І що ви, як вам взагалі машина? Як на вашому досвіді вона себе показує, порівняно, можливо, з чимось іншим?
Ну, машина взагалі
The car is generally very good. The ride, the controls are all top level. The driver can adjust the seat and steering wheel. It's comfortable. Driving it feels great.
Може, якась ще історія чи якийсь випадок пригадуєте, коли вона вас прям дуже врятувала? Не знаю.
It saved not only me, but also the paratroopers who needed to evacuate the wounded. We came under mortar fire, and the car withstood the attack. Shrapnel pierced the metal, but the Stryker held up, getting us from A to B, no questions asked.
I have a more seriously. Can I try and sit down? Is it okay?
Чи нормально, якщо він спробує сісти там, як водій, відчути?
Да, можна. Це просто мені цікаво, да. He said it's automatic, да?
Це автоматично.
Ви сказали, так?
Є автоматик.
Wow. It's a small space, huh? It feels a little bit small for me, but he said you can actually regulate and change everything. There are definitely a lot more buttons than I expected. A lot more buttons and a lot more indicators. But it's automatic, so you don't have to change gears, which I guess helps a lot. But still, to imagine to drive into battle with this kind of old school steering wheel. It has a horn, by the way, you can honk. That must be pretty crazy. I'm impressed, but at the same time I'm a little bit like, you know, even I am just nervous just sitting here and thinking about that you're actually going to fight with this. Crazy. But respect to the guys for sure. Great experience. Usually when that door opens, the soldiers sitting inside don't know exactly what's waiting for them on the outside, but probably it's hell. In this case, thank God we're at a safe place in the forest, but Stryker, pretty cool machine.
In 2024, the unthinkable is happening. Ukrainian soldiers on American machines fighting on Russian soil. While we leave, Lichy and Siga prepare for their next mission in Russia. Lichy sees the war with great sadness, but for him, there is no other way.
As a kid, I loved shooting games and playing with toy military vehicles. But it's one thing when it's just a game. When I saw the horrors in the Kursk region, I realized this has been happening in Donbass for 10 years. This horror has to stop. Evil must be punished. I didn't want to fight, but I had to protect my home. Towns, fields, and animals all destroyed. When the Russians retreated, they looted and they abandoned people. There are still civilians in Kursk we try to support with food and water since everything's cut off. No gas, no electricity. Mostly they're elderly or without means, as those who could afford it quickly fled, leaving their neighbors behind. We also help with medicine when needed.